thought you had this way. Are you still living in the place? They told me you've been doing okay, okay. In another world where you and me, we show our hearts, yeah, entirely. Deliver me from reality and take me to my fantasy. Tell me we can make this real if we can follow what we feel. I'm running but I've reached the edge, and now I'm falling, so promise that you'll catch me.
Hello everyone, I'm Larry. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. The stakes have been raised here in the wild card round as it's time to win or get an early start on the offseason. It's the Rams going up against the Redskins. With kickoff straight ahead, let's check in with the two men who'll be calling tonight's game as we say hello to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, we are due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Los Angeles Rams and the Washington Redskins. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets a tone for the offense.
So we've got a 2nd and 5. Back to throw here. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Bortles was accident-prone last year, led the league with 18 picks and an early pick here.
And you know he spent a lot of time in the offseason working on this, thinking about it. It's not that he's not going to throw any. They just hope that that number gets cut down significantly.
Here we go. Green, 90, 58, rail. Black, 58, rail. Close, left.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
And they'll go on the ground. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. As we get a look at the defensive starters, the secondary, they're certainly going to need to be on their toes in this one.
And you know me really well. Where do I start analyzing a game? From the secondary. And these guys have to be on point today. They're facing a high-powered attack.
Third down and 5. Now Bortles. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And now here's a carry heading left. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
One thing that you find out on a sweep play is the fortitude of the people running it. Because that is a run, and then there's some contact when you finally get to the edge. And those guys who can hold that point of attack and hold up on that contact, they create the plays that we just saw there. Really nice play by the defensive guys.
On second down, here's Bortles. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on third. Bortles. And the third down pass falls incomplete. So now on fourth down, the Redskins will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. So kind of a tough break there. No real hook or slice to that one, but he's denied by the upright.
And he basically hits it just straight as an arrow. But yeah, since he's on the hash mark to begin with, straight as an arrow isn't good enough.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And here are the defensive starters. In your old position, you get to talk about the secondary.
The best athletes on the field, Brandon.
Debatable.
Well, we'll see how this goes today. I love the way you put my guys down. But you know this, they've got to cover and they have to tackle. They have a heck of a task in front of them in this game.
A big play there for L.A. 51 yards. Obviously, so much on the line here. Everything on the line this season. So important to get off to a hot start. That run certainly helps.
Definitely provided it. Nothing different than what they've seen all year long. They want to continue to ride that momentum.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. Now they'll bring one of their tight ends in motion right. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll go with the keeper. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. It's their quarterback scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Rams are going to take a first quarter lead. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they were in field goal range last time out, but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
They'll come out in the pistol. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. Throwing his Bortles on third down. And this is going to be incomplete. So on fourth down, the Redskins will call on Tressway to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this will be taken at the 13. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Second down following the run. Looking to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on third. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. On fourth down, Colton Braden Schmidt to punt it away.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because their only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Taken in at the 11. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Redskins will take possession with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the 1st on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. So the D-line's going to spread out. Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And Reed with it over the middle. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, 47 yards. And the Redskins have tied it here. The extra point to come can put him in the driver's seat. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken near the 13. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. The ball comes out, and the return will stop right around the 25. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Black 58,
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things, and they've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards down to the 15.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Throwing now, it's Bortles. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. And this has no chance. It's no good. Well, wide to the left, and this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Oh, nice move. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
2 minutes gone by, second quarter. They'll set up to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
As they run the counter play. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
Dustin Hopkins now for the Redskins field goal. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they take the lead here as it's now 9-6. So after 2 unsuccessful attempts, this time he's able to find the range, and he gets his guys the lead.
And we wondered whether those 2 misses would come back to haunt him. They still might, but at least he's able to get some sort of redemption and get his guys back in front.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Rams now coming out on the field. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
And frankly, Brendan, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
So many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. So he makes the grab, and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line, giving them time to complete that first down pass.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And they'll run it here. Stays on his feet, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
He's got time in the pocket. He's got a man complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A huge play there for Washington. 56 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the offense in that middle ground here on 3rd down. 5 yards to go.
Left, 58, rail.
the gun on third down. Bortles caught on the right side. Reed. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up fourth down. And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they double their lead, pushing it up now to 12-6. It's a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they get the field goal near the end of the first half to expand that lead.
Yeah, that's got to feel good, but they can't let up. Now on the kickoff, they've got to make sure they don't give up a big return or big yardage to set up the other team for one last chance to score themselves.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. His throw incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
He'll try again. And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line. And a great spot to start this drive from here. So after the INT, it's Bortles. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Their dangerous wide receiver as the first half is winding down. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. And he's able to put it through.